You wake up. You don't own the bed you're lying in. You don't own the room. You don't own your name, your time, or even your own face, because in a few hours, someone else is going to decide exactly what you do with it. Welcome to ancient Greece. You are what they called a porn. And no, that's not a compliment. Legally, you don't exist as a person. You exist as an object, bought, sold, rented out, and taxed like furniture. Athens even collected a special tax called the pornikon telos on the trade you're forced into. Your body isn't yours. Your labor isn't yours. Your children, if you have any, aren't yours either. They belong to whoever owns you. You have no citizenship, no legal voice. No court will hear your complaint, because in the eyes of the law, you're not a party to anything. You're the subject of someone else's transaction. You don't decide when you wake up, when you eat, or who you see. That's the owner's job, whether it's a private master or the manager of a pornē brothel. You're assigned, scheduled, moved around like inventory between clients. If you get sick, that's a business problem, not a health concern. If you're tired, that's not your call to make. Every hour of your existence has already been sold before the day begins. Now, you might be thinking, didn't ancient Greece have those educated companions? The hetaira, witty, trained in music and philosophy, invited to symposiums to talk politics with powerful men? Sure, but don't get it twisted. A hetaira still isn't free. She has more visibility, sometimes more money passing through her hands, sometimes even a taste of independence if she's lucky enough to be freed later. But she is still operating inside a system built entirely around what men want to look at, listen to, and use. The difference between a hetaira and a porn isn't freedom, it's decoration. Let's say the impossible happens. You're freed, manumitted. On paper, you're no longer a slave. Congratulations. You now have atimia, a permanent loss of honor. You can't become a citizen. You can't vote. In many cases, you can't legally marry a citizen, which means your children can't be citizens either. The stain doesn't wash off just because the chains do. Society already decided who you are the moment you were put up for sale. Freedom just changes your paperwork, not your reputation. Your entire value, your safety, your food, your bed, is tied to how desirable you are right now. And right now doesn't last. When you're no longer young, no longer novel, no longer profitable, you're not retired. You're replaced, sold off cheaper, left with fewer options and less protection than you had on your worst day as a valuable asset. There's no pension for this. There's no thank you for your service. There's just the next person in line. No unions, no advocacy groups, no whistleblowers with a platform. Running was a capital risk. Recaptured slaves faced brutal punishment, and the law was built entirely to protect the owner's investment, not your safety. You didn't get to write your story. Someone else already had, and you were just expected to perform it. So next time someone romanticizes the golden age of Greece, the philosophy, the democracy, the marble statues, remember that golden age was built, in part, on people who had absolutely no say in their own lives. Democracy for some, property status for others. If you made it this far, you already have something ancient. Greece never gave people like this a voice. Use it. Subscribe for more stories about what history books leave out.